Hey everybody, it's Labor Day weekend and we're getting ready to go to the lake and have family there. I'm cooking here at home before I get there. I will cook some there and we'll video that too. But I am making pulled pork and I'm making it in the Instapot. I know everyone loved the pork ribs in the Instapot that took 25 minutes. Well, you'll never go back to making your pulled pork any other way. It is so good in the Instapot, and it takes an hour at the most for a 4-pound roast to do it. So get ready. This is another one you're gonna love, and it's so easy. Now we're gonna take the pork butt, and you can use pork shoulder also. This is about a 4-pound recipe. I'm doing about a 4-pound. You can, if you go higher, it's about 15 to 20 minutes per pound that you add to your timer. So if my Instapot is a very basic one, so we start off by cutting this in chunks and sauteing it. I don't have a saute mode on my Instapot. You probably do. So I'm going to saute it on the oven because you want the brown parts, and then I'll add it to the Instapot. While I'm doing this, I've already got the Instapot on to get it heated up and ready to go. So here we go. We're going to cut this in about 4 chunks. You can get bone-in or boneless. I happen to get a bone one, so cutting in chunks is a little bit more difficult, but what I will do is leave the bone on one of the chunks, because leaving the bone in, it just gives it more flavor, and we're going to shred it at the end. And I have a trick for shredding it too, that you'll find out. So we're going to cut this. Wish me luck on cutting this up. First you can cut it. You cut it in about 3 to 4 chunks. So I've got the pork cut up over here, and I will highly recommend, and I've got it in about 4 or 5 pieces. This was a bone-in pork. It's hard to cut up. I very much recommend a boneless if you can, and you can cook these without cutting them up. If they are bone-in, they just take a little longer. I went ahead and cut this up. Now we're going to sear it. Like I said, I can't saute it in my crock pot, in my Instapot, because I don't have that function. I'm putting about 2 tablespoons of oil in over here. I'm going to heat it up, and I'm going to sear these because we want it brown on the edges, so you have those brown spots. And then we're going to sear it, and then we'll put it in here. And once that's done, I'll show you the seasonings, putting the seasonings together in the liquid part of it. Okay, I'm going to just salt and pepper these before I put them in, just to give them a little extra flavor. And I've cut off a lot of the fat as I went. There's still some fat on there. Left that on there because there's meat in it. And I hate to waste any good meat because I like the part around the fat. Okay, I hear my oil sizzling. I'm going to go ahead and put some. Okay, so y'all hear Tyrone, I'm sure, over there today. He's a happy camper. Okay, now I'm adding this over here. I'll add this big piece last. I'll just get these done. Right now I just put salt, pepper, and Lowry seasoning salt on these. And I'm going to sear them. All I'm doing is 3 to 4 minutes. You're just trying to get them brown if you're not trying to get them cooked. Kind of brown all the edges. And you can skip this step, but it does make it much tastier to have the little crunchies and all that stuff. That piece looks browned. That piece is going to be really brown. That's what I was going for. Okay. Let that get a little more brown. Now I'm going to add that big piece in there. So if you were sauteing this in the Instapot instead of the oven, which if you have the saute option, that is the best thing to do, you would put about 2 tablespoons of oil in the bottom of it, and then you would do this. You do the same thing in that, and once it's done, you would take the roast out, and then I'll show, and then do the same technique that I'm going to be doing here, which is deglazing. And deglazing just means I'm getting all the brown pieces out off of this and scrubbing it off, and then adding it to the pot because that's good flavor. So, but if it's already in the pot, you're scraping it off the edges so that it doesn't burn. You want to get it all, any stuck on pieces off. So basically the same thing. So we've almost got this ready. I'm going to go ahead and do that little end too, since we have it like that. Okay, I'm taking this out. Now, to deglaze this, I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to add a half a cup of chicken stock to that, and I'm going to scrape it all out. I'm going to turn it off, because basically you're just trying to get all the stuff off of it. Okay, it's all scraped off, and I'm just going to put it in my pan over there. In my Instapot, and then I'll show you the rest. And I've already got this on ready to go. Okay. Now we're going to make our seasoning to rub on this. And basically, so I've already kind of started. I've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And basically, kind of the same thing on everything else. You know I don't measure, but I will for you today. This is going to be 2 teaspoons. Actually, I'm going to do 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder. Same of paprika. Whoops, I'm making a mess over here. Actually, I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of paprika. One teaspoon of cumin. Ooh, it smells good. 2 teaspoons or 1.5 of this. I'm going to save the ground pepper for the end. Garlic powder. One and a half. Onion salt, 1.5. Whoops. And then we're going to do, whoops, I can't get that back on. Whoops, not a tablespoon. 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle in a little Lowry's just because I like that flavor in it. And this is cooking away. I need to turn that down. And I'm going to sprinkle a tad of cayenne peppers for a little spice. Oops, that was too much. And we're going to mix this all together. And you can also put a teaspoon of ground mustard, which really makes it good. I don't have ground mustard, so I'm just going to go for this. But I'm going to put it with the wet because I can't put it with the dry. Okay, so this is all mixed up. We're going to take this and we're going to rub it all generously on it. Another thing you can do that helps get all these flavors in it and lets it sit for a while, I'm getting it like really all in it, is to do this at the marinate, do this right away and put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. I'm going to just do it like that because I can. But put it in there 30 minutes because then they all melt, all the flavors melt together. Make sure I've got enough on this. I'll go ahead and put the rest on that. Now we're going to make the wet. If I had ground mustard, I'd be putting it with that. I don't, so I'm going to put it, this is 1 cup of chicken stock, and you can use chicken or beef. I'm going to put a little mustard in there, 1/3 cup of vinegar, apple cider vinegar. We'll go ahead and squirt in a tad more barbecue sauce just to have the flavor. That's just a little more barbecue sauce because I'd rather have more than 1/2 cup. Okay, we're going to add this into the pot. It looks like that all cooked in there while I was doing that, so I'm going to again get the bits off the bottom so it doesn't burn. Now we just put these on top of that, just set them in there. And put the lid on it. Make sure it's sealed. Put it on seal. And we are going, it's a 4-pound roast, so 60 minutes, 15 minutes a pound is 60 minutes. So it's set and ready to go. See you in 60 minutes. Okay, so it's been 60 minutes, and then we vented for 20. It's anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. We vented, we let it natural release, and then we turned it to vent to let it finish. And now we're opening it up and look, see all the juices and the meat. And now we're going to shred the meat. I'm going to show you a trick how to shred the meat with your, you can do it with a hand mixer or with your stand-up mixer. I'll have to make sure the one with the meat, I pull it off, because I mean with the bone. Where's my? So I'm going to move, if I didn't have so much juice in here, we could just do a hand mixer inside of here, but I don't. I mean, I had too much juice, and instead of pouring out the juice, I'm just going to do it this way. So we're going to put the meat over. It's just falling off the bone now, or just falling apart. It's all coming off the bone so easily. We're going to put the juices, after we shred it, we're going to put the juices back into some of the meat to keep it moist and tasty. Keep all those flavors. Right now I'm pulling the meat off the bone. See, that's what's left of the bone. Of course, if you do a boneless one, you don't have to worry about that. Make sure I got all of it out of there. Okay, so we have all of our pork in here, pork butt in here. We're going to shred it the easy way. You use this attachment. When we start shredding it, it'll shred really easy, and some will shred quicker than others. When some are shredded and we still have bigger pieces, we'll want to pull out the shredded ones because it'll turn mushy if we don't. But this is a really easy way to shred your pork. Let's see. There's a lot of little pieces in there. Let's see. Actually, it's pretty even. I'm gonna just give it a couple more spins and it's ready. See how easy that was? There's one big piece in there. That's it. I'm going to put about a cup of juice in with this. And then we're going to stir it. I've got a fork, so I'll just stir with that. Now this is some good pulled pork. You can use this pulled pork for sandwiches. I love to make baked potatoes and put it on there. And it's just, and you could actually even freeze some of this and save it for another time. And that's all it is to it. It's really easy to make. I'm going to taste it for you. It's very good and tender. You'll love it. Thank you for watching. Be sure and try this recipe. Thank you. Bye.